Hey, welcome to my new channel where I will be doing political commentary and discussing news and other world events, true crime, various things of that nature. My first video I wanted to do is about something that is just being fought over right now in Congress between the Democrats and the Republicans. We want the SAVE Act passed. The SAVE Act would ensure that only citizens vote, and they would be required to show voter ID. But you have the Democrat Party swearing up and down that this is completely and totally racist behavior. And to show you what I mean by that, I'm going to first start off with this video by Ami Horowitz, where he went on the street and he interviewed white liberals, and then he interviewed black people on this issue, and I think you might find it kind of interesting. So let's start there.
I'm Ami Horowitz, and I'm here in Berkeley, California to find out if voter ID laws suppress the black vote. Do you have an opinion on voter ID laws?
Yeah, they're usually pretty racist and they're bad.
I think voter ID laws are a way to perpetuate racism.
Would you go as far as say those laws are racist?
For sure.
Do you think it suppresses the African American vote?
Definitely.
Tell us how.
Because they're less likely to have state IDs.
Minority voters are less likely to have the kinds of IDs that have been described or required.
These type of people don't live in areas with easy access to DMVs or other places where they can get identification.
You can always get IDs you do over the internet. Does that also make it difficult for black people in particular?
Yeah, you have to have access to the internet. You have to be able to pay an internet service provider for certain fees.
Do you think that's harder for black people to go online?
Well, I feel like they don't have the knowledge of how it works.
A lot of people have smartphones, but you might not have data.
For most of the
Are you hearing this? Black people can't get to the DMV. They don't know how to use the internet. They don't know how to use computers. They're too stupid to have voter IDs. So all of this voter ID stuff is solely to suppress the black vote. How many people do you know, black or white or Asian or any other ethnicity, that doesn't have an ID? How many? These people are ridiculous, and I was trying to show you how actually they're the ones who are racist, because they feel like they're your superiors, because they can do all these things to get voter ID, but because you're black, you can't. Really? Are we really going there? Please.
most of the communities, they don't really know what is out there just because they're not aware or they're not informed.
I also think there's a repression of black voting with how if you're a convicted felon, you're not allowed to vote and everything. And when you look at swing states like Florida, that's a huge population of the African Americans.
Now,
on that note, the same applies to white felons. You probably wouldn't be a felon if you hadn't have committed a felony. So that's on you, boo-boo. Just saying.
now I'm here in East Harlem to ask black people their thoughts on what you just heard. Do you have ID normally? You carry ID around?
Yes, I have state ID.
Do you carry ID?
Yes, I do.
Do you know any black person who doesn't carry ID?
No. Everyone that I know has an ID. Why would they think we don't have ID?
Thank you.
That's a lie. Why would they say that?
Do you have ID?
Yes.
Because I have my ID and my friends have their ID, so we know what we need to carry around.
Everybody that I know have ID. That's one of the things you need to walk around with New York with, an ID.
Do you know any black adult who does not have ID?
No, I don't.
Is it a weird thing to even say that?
Yes, it is.
What is this, some type of trick candy cameras?
I know, right?
Dude said, "Is this candid camera?" That's how stupid this is. If you're a Democrat voter, please call your representative and tell them to vote for the SAVE Act, because trying to fight it is an absolute insult and slap in the face to black voters.
That's the only thing I brought with me.
Those are legit IDs. I heard a lot also that black people can't figure out how to get to the DMV.
Really?
What does that say to you?
I know it's that on 25th Street.
Do you know where the DMV is around you?
It's on 125th Street and 3rd Avenue, I believe.
You know how to get there?
Yeah.
Would you have a problem getting there if you had to get there?
No.
I know these sound like silly questions. You know how to get to the DMV?
Of course.
You know where it is?
Yes.
You can get there?
Uh-huh.
No problem.
No problem.
Just checking.
Okay.
And I also heard a lot that black people, especially poor black people, have no access to the internet, can't figure out how to use the internet.
That's just stupidity, honestly. Everybody has access to the internet. Even a little kid can figure out how to work the internet.
I had access to the internet for years.
You know how to use it properly, right?
Exactly. I do it at work. So, of course, I know how to use it.
Smart.
My kids know how to use it. They all have iPads, iPods, whatever.
Your phone has data?
Mm-hmm.
You can actually
Unlimited.
Unlimited data.
Mm-hmm. I use my phone as a hotspot.
What does that say to you for the people who have this perception of black people?
They're pretty much ignorant. That's what my thought process was.
Pretty much ignorant. And since all of these thoughts are mostly coming from white liberals and everybody likes to use this word so much, I think it's pretty racist. Because just by virtue of being black, you're not intelligent enough to secure voter ID. But I'd bet my life you got one in your wallet already. How can you tolerate this? I don't get it.
I just think that's ignorant.
Ignorant.
Ignorant. That's the word I'm hearing a lot. Ignorant.
Very, very ignorant.
Is this
Very, very ignorant, but you will keep voting for the people who are fighting to make sure this law is not passed. So now one has to question, how ignorant are you? I'm just saying, you have got to research what the people you are supporting are voting for and what they're supporting. You've got to look at their policies. You can't just blindly go with things and go, oh yeah, no, Democrats are for the people, the Republicans are racist, and boo-hoo whine and cry about this, and boo-hoo whine and cry about that. No. How about you use your head, use some critical thinking skills, and look into some things. It's not that hard. It just takes a little bit of time. But people just won't do it. That's why people like me and others are coming into play. We're trying to wake you up.
Does it sound racist for somebody to say that?
I think it is a little racist because, you know, you're putting people in a category and you have no idea what you're talking about.
Maybe a little bit racist in it, but like I said, I think it's more stupidity and ignorance.
You're judging somebody, like, but you're judging them because they black, saying that they don't got it.
What people are they talking to? Who are these people talking to?
Do you have a problem that if you go to vote and they say, can we please see your ID to make sure you are who you say you are? Are you
Love showing my ID.
You got no problem with that?
Nope.
Would you have a problem if when you go to vote, if they say, can we please just see your ID to make sure you are who you say you are? Do you have an issue with that?
No.
Would you have a problem if there was a rule where you had to show your ID in order to vote?
I don't think so. No.
Would you have an issue if there was a rule saying you got to show your ID before you vote?
Nah.
You cool with that?
Yeah.
Well, isn't that interesting? Every black person you spoke to, not only do they have ID, most of them told you where the DMV is located. They all told you they know how to use the internet. And not a single one of them minds being asked for ID in order to vote. On that note, that brings me into the next little thing we're going to touch on here in regards to the SAVE Act. An interesting little poll that CNN did regarding the SAVE Act and what the American people as a whole think of it. So let's check that one out.
Now we turn to another big question tonight. Why are so many Democrats so strongly opposed to the SAVE Act which would simply require proof of citizenship and voter ID to be eligible to vote. Now, of course, the left is diving back into their failed playbook. I tell you, this happens every election year, every 2 years, every 4 years. Chucky Schumer leading the way, decrying the legislation, Jim Crow 2.0. You hear it every 2 years, you hear it every 4 years. Here you go again.
The SAVE Act is an abomination. It's Jim Crow 2.0 across the country. We are going to do everything we can to stop it.
Complete lie. This legislation is anything but Jim Crow 2.0. And the concept of photo ID to vote is actually very popular. Don't take my word for it. Even fake news CNN admitted it has bipartisan support and it crosses all demographics. Take a listen.
What are we talking about here? So take a look here. Favor voter ID to vote. Look, I got all this polling on the screen going back since 2018. You'll notice on all of it, it's all north of 75%, 76%, 76%, 76%, 81%, and then 83% in the last year of Americans agree with Nicki Minaj. They favor photo ID to be able to vote. But
that's the vast majority of the country. Favor ID in order to be able to vote. And the reason why this is such a big deal is because Elon Musk found when he was doing the Doge and they had all of, that research going on, they found that more than 1 million illegals voted in the 2024 presidential election. This is why it's a big deal. And this is also why they're fighting like holy hell to stop this law from passing, because if they lose the illegals being able to vote when they're not supposed to, they're not going to win any more elections. And they know that because they can no longer completely and totally rely on the black vote. Too many black people have woken up to the truth behind the Democrat Party. But let's see what, various demographics have to say about this issue. Let's let Harriet and continue.
But even 71% of Democrats favor photo ID to vote. 85% of white people favor it. 82% of Latino. 76% of black Americans favor it. So the bottom line is this. Voter ID is not controversial in this country. A photo ID to vote is not controversial in this country. It is not controversial by party, and it is not controversial by race. The vast majority of Americans agree with Nicki Minaj.
Seriously, where do you stand on this? Do you think the SAVE Act should be passed? And very quickly. And they need to quit hemming and hawing about it and get it done. If you do believe the SAVE Act should be passed, if you're one of these people who showed up in the Democrat poll that said, yeah, you're in favor of voter ID and you're voting Democrat, then please call your Democrat representative and tell them to vote for the SAVE Act. Otherwise, there's no chance in hell they're going to. I don't know that they will even if you call, because the only constituents that they listen to are the far left progressives that are pushing transgender for all, no matter your age, are pushing all kinds of insanity. Those are the people they listen to. And I'm starting to think the reason why they are listening to them is because they're afraid of them. Because they've proven themselves to be rather violent. So, anyway, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.